Ciao, bambina, un bacio ancora e poi per sempre io ti perderò.
Hello, my name is Rosa Bambino and welcome to Cooking with Rosa Bambino. Today I'm going to make the meatballs for Easter. Now it's a funny year. Usually I make a lot of meatballs and we go to my family, but because of this stupid virus we no can go. So I'm not going to make as much, but the recipe is still the same. I'm going to show you, okay? So here's everything we got. Of course we got the meat. We got the milk, we got the salt, we got the breadcrumbs, the eggs, and the onion. Now, if you watch my meatloaf recipe, there's one thing different in that. I put a ketchup, but you don't put the ketchup in this. You're going to spoil the meatballs, you put the ketchup in there. That's stupid. Anyways, with this, everyone says, so why are your meatballs so special? These are my mama's recipe. And the reason they're so special is because they're soft. Why are they soft? Because I put foam in them. No, because I use three kinds of meat. We use the beef, we use the pork, and we use the veal. And that makes them soft and juicy. Also, when I brown them, you don't cook them through. You cook them through, then they're going to be just like rocks you could bowl with them at the bowling alley. We don't want to do that. You just brown them, and then we put them in the sauce and we let them cook. Okay? So let's get started. First, we got the breadcrumbs. Now, you're going to say, Rosa, why don't you measure? I don't know. I just do everything by feel. I got 3 pounds of meat, so I'm going to put what I think is the right amount of breadcrumbs in here. You don't want to put too much breadcrumbs, because you don't want to make it a bread ball, you want to make it a meatball. Okay? And that looks like it's just about right. Okay. And now, we're going to add the milk. I like it to make this mixture juicy. If you don't make it juicy, it's sticky and you make little balls. So I added the milk until it gets juicy. And here we go. And you stir it. And I don't use the spoons. Like I always say, I use my hands because you got to feel the food. And that way you know for sure that it's right. Now we mix. See how it's still dry? We don't want it to be dry. So I'm going to add some more milk to this. Not a lot. And I'm not going to dump it a whole gallon in there. Then we're going to have a milk ball instead of a meatball. Everything is really important. Just to how much you put. And you only learn that from the experience. You know the experience? You get that when you keep a cook. That's the way you do. I learned this from my mama all the time. As she making the meatballs, they're always so good. And then she teaching me. It's getting there, but it's still a little dry. It's still a little dry. You got to be careful, not too much milk. See how it absorbs. The breadcrumbs, they absorb a lot. I think that's going to be it. I hope. I'm getting tired of putting the milk in. Just a little bit more. That's all right, that's so good. Okay, now we're going to add the meat. And here it is. I'm going to give a shout out to my butcher. Hey Tony, down at Carbone's. I want to say hi to you and all of your staff down there. Look at this meat. It's beautiful. You don't find too many people that are going to make it a meat and they're going to mix it for you. Tony gets the veal special for me because it's very hard to get veal nowadays. If it wasn't for Tony, I couldn't do these meatballs right. So you put the meat in there and you start to mix it. Now, I put a little salt. I usually go like this. I put a little bit of here, then I go all around the pan, so when you mix it, it's going to get it. And you add the eggs. Because you needed the liquid. Make sure you don't get the shells, then you're going to have a harder meatball. My husband, he always say, hey, what's this shell doing into the food? I say, I don't know, maybe the chick had it inside, I don't know. It wasn't my fault. And now we're going to squish it all together. Squeeze ya, squeeze ya, squeeze ya. You got to make sure that you get all of that bread mixed in. You don't want it to lumps. Feels good. And you get down at the bottom, get all of that bread mixed in. Just like when you play in the sandbox, you know? Or when you were a kid and you play in the mud. And you gotta knead it like you're making the bread. Everything with your hands. You know, the big restaurants, they got the machine. They put all this in and they stir it all up that way. But it takes all the fun out of the personal aspect. This is where it's a personal. It's a me and the might meet. Squish, squish, squish. See how it's a-coming? It's a-coming good. But you gotta mix it all in. Look at that meat, how gorgeous. You don't get that at the supermarkets. It's all processed meat. This is good. Now I gotta grate the onion in here. Ma, I gotta clean the freaking hands off. It's all full of the meat. Yuck. Excuse me for a minute while I clean up my hands. Yuck. I got the onion, and I'm going to grate it. This is how I do it, because I don't like it having the chunks of onion. I cook with the onion. I don't want it the big pieces. So I get the onion juice and some of the little slivers in there to give a good taste. My sister, she don't like an onion at all. I know she watching this video, she's probably going, ick. She's put the onion in the meat. I don't like. But you gotta have it. Gotta have it a taste. Okay, I put the onion in and now I'm gonna mix it. There, just right. Now we're going to start to make the meatballs. But I got to clean up a little bit, so I'll be right back. Okay, here's the meat. Now we're going to make the meatballs. Now I'm not going to show you how to make all, because this is going to make about 50 meatballs, and I'm sure you don't want to sit there and watch me play with my balls, okay? So I show you. All you do is you grab the meat and you roll it. You can make them as big or as small as you want. I don't usually make it a giant balls. I make them medium size. Again, it depends. You know, if you're making it for a party and you need a lot, then you make it a smaller ones. But just to grab the meat and you roll it. It's not rocket science. Anybody can do it, I hope. See, it's very nice. Now, I'm going to come back, as I said, because I got to make all these, and then we're going to show you how I cook. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Ciao. Hello again. Okay, we are on phase 2 now. We're going to cook the meatballs. I already got the oil in here. I use the canola oil. I got it at 325 because I don't want to burn the meatballs. Now, believe it or not, we got 59 meatballs. Didn't make a 60. Worse do not, huh? But you can judge it by that. 3 pounds of meat, I make that many meatballs. Now, the oil is nice and hot. I'm going to put them in and get them started. I'm not going to show you how I cook all of them, obviously. You don't want to watch me cook the balls. You got to keep them moving, otherwise they're going to stick. You don't want them to stick. And as I said before, you don't cook them through. You don't cook them through, you brown them. That way when you put them in the sauce, they get the sauce absorber and they're nice and juicy. While we do this, let's have some music. Computer, repeat.
I'll repeat the song.
On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. Achoo! It rolled from the table and onto the floor, and then my poor meatball, it rolled out the door. It rolled to the garden and under a bush, and then my poor meatball was nothing but bush. But the bush was as tasty could be. And early next summer, it grew to a tree. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss. It grew great big meatballs and tomato sauce. So if you eat spaghetti all covered with cheese, hold on to your meatballs and don't ever sneeze.
That's a nice. It's a nice song, appropriate for making the meatballs. Now you see what I do. You cook it for a little while and then you turn. You keep it turn till you get it brown on all the sides. And now I'm going to leave you for a few minutes. I'll come back when we have all of the meatballs cooked, and then I show you phase 3. Okay? Ciao. Hello, we're back again. Here's the meatballs, all done. And there's my sauce. I got the sauce started before, so you don't have to watch me make it. You can make your own sauce. This is a marinara sauce. And now you put the meatballs into the sauce. Now, don't just throw them in. I gotta be very slow. You don't want to have them roll down the street losing your balls. That's a very bad thing when you lose your balls. That's what I've been told. So do it very slowly. Also, you don't want the sauce to splash all over the place. But you put the meatballs in the sauce. Stir it a little bit to mix it up. And I'm going to let them cook just about an hour. We're going to cook just about an hour. They're going to get nice and soft. They're going to absorb all of that sauce. And then you use the sauce of whatever, the lasagna or the macaroni, manicotti, whatever you like. Oh, that's a lot of balls. They always say I got a lot of balls, and it just the proof. Giovanna, not Giovanna, I'm Rosa, but I know Giovanna, she got a lot of balls. Now you stir. There they are. These are the meatballs. These are going to be for Easter. So I'm going to say Buona Pasqua to my family that we can't see. And I see you next time. Arrivederci.
Ciao,